Hi, my name is Eric Beard. I'm here with one of my friends here, Sylvester Stemley. Good to see you, Sylvester.
See you too, Eric.
We are just outside of Dallas, Texas, just west. I've gotten a geography lesson here from Sylvester in Keller, and we're one of the places where Sylvester trains some of his clients. I'd like to take a little time here to talk about Sylvester's success in the health and fitness industry and tell you a little bit more about his story. He's an interesting guy. He's had some amazing results as a professional, and I think you could really benefit from learning about him. So let's just take a minute or two here. I'll ask Sylvester some questions and we can just learn a little bit more about him. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Sylvester. So I think the standard question that we usually want to talk about is how did you get started in the health and fitness industry?
Well, originally, whenever I got into the fitness industry, I came in, I tried out for an arena football team and got hurt right before my tryouts. I got my ankle caught in between a elevator threshold and a forklift blade, which is a freak accident, and I shouldn't have been there. I was trying to help. I was working for a company. I was trying to help them out, and I tore up my right ankle. Went out to the tryouts, made the first cut, and then I got called. They said, "Hey, we looked at the tapes. It looked like something was going on. Anything you want to tell us about?" And obviously, they were like, "Okay, you're at much more risk, so we're going to go with the other guy." That's how I ended up getting into it. Prior to that, I had some health scares in my family that really had already drawn me to the health industry. So that was, in conjunction, both of those two things helped me make my decision as far as making that step into it.
So sorry to laugh at your misfortune, but the elevator shaft and the forklift, that was...
Yes.
Accident.
I went to therapy after that, and back then, therapy, we all know PT. At that point in time, he said, "Hey, just go into plantar dorsiflexion. You should be good." I go out to my practice. I pulled both my groins, and I still ran a 4.6. So bad ankle and a pulled groin, but they didn't like what they saw. So it kind of hurt me, hurt my ego. So I was determined to get into the business to figure out how I could fix it myself.
That's great. You had some family members that you were concerned about. So what was the first step that you took to get into the health and fitness industry?
Well, the first thing I did was I opened up a phone book. It's funny because I still have the page that I ripped out. To this day, I looked in the phone book and I looked at gyms. I had a friend that worked at Gold's at the time, and he said, "Hey man, you ought to look into going to the Cooper Institute in Dallas and take a course called biomechanics and XYZ." So I started to research that and started to try to look and see what different academies had, what they had to offer. So I did a little more research, and I kept, going out to different trainers, asking them their philosophy and their opinion on what I should do. So some said NASM, some said Cooper, some said A, some said ACSM. Everyone had their own reason why they chose that one. But I got a very good feeling from getting NASM. The first step I did choose was Cooper, because at the time when I got cut from the arena team, I was low on cash. So I was actually staying at a friend's house, and I was living on his couch, living out the back of my car. And at that point in time is when I opened up the phone book, and I'm looking at the phone book and I'm saying, okay, what do I do now? So I called the Cooper Institute, asked them how much the course was, and I happened to have enough on a credit card, so I charged that on the credit card. It left me with like $150 for the rest of the month. Went out there, took the course, started training people in their homes, and from there that's where the journey started.
That's pretty impressive. So how did you get those first few clients if you went right into home training?
Well, what I did was prior to going to get the certification, I went to 24 Hour Fitness and got a membership. And I was there at 24 Hour Fitness, and at the time I was working out, and people looked at me and were like, "Man, I like you in shape," and blah, blah, blah. So I gave this one lady, gave her my phone number at the time, and obviously she was canceling a membership. She's like, "Hey, I'm leaving this gym, I'll look you up, or I'll give you a call if for some reason I decided I want to train." I said, "Great." Didn't think she was going to call. Like 3 months later, she ended up giving me a call. So from there, the rest was history.
That's pretty amazing. You mentioned you had a membership at 24 Hour Fitness. Do you want to tell me a little bit about your journey as far as places that you've worked and trained out of?
Yes. When I first started, like I said, I was doing the in-home, so I was going house to house. And actually everything that worked in that way was more referral, word of mouth. So, the one lady that I had was a doctor, so she referred me to this person and that person and that person. So they kind of helped me out just a little bit to pay the bills. And then I ended up working at a private gym called Velocity. Velocity is in Arlington, and I started working there. Some great owners. There's a private studio where you can only train at. So I started working there, and I started training a couple athletes. At the time, people came in and they were like, hey, my kids want training, so do you have anybody there? So at that point in time, that started to help my clientele base grow as well. So I'm training in-home, juggling that, and training at the studio. Then the next time that I decided to make a transition was then at 24. A friend of mine that was a manager offered me a position at 24. So I stopped doing the Velocity and I stopped doing the in-home, went on to 24, ended up getting into management, had a very, very great career with them, a lot of success. At one point in time, I was in the running to go to the Olympics and train the Olympic athletes prior to their games. Didn't make the cut. I got beat out by quite a few other people. Out of I think like 2,000 trainers, I think I made it to like 120 or something like that. And I've had a lot more experiences that I can say that has excelled my career. 24 was very great. They were a great company with a great mission, vision, and philosophy, and that's probably why they're still successful, along with a lot of other bigger companies. Then the next company that I went to was Lifetime Fitness, and a lot of people say, you jumping ship, or you think the grass is green on the other side. For me, it was more of loyalty. I had a lot of clients that had followed me. They were driving an hour to even more just to come and train with me, and then the Lifetime location just happened to work out better for the family. And everything that I've ever done and learned in life it's all about loyalty. It's all about integrity. And at that point in time, I had to make a big decision and say, okay, Sylvester, you can't be about yourself. You have to now make this decision based on giving back to the people that have been giving to you and following you for 5 years. So at that point in time, again, it was coming up on 5 years of 24, and my manager was a great guy. And to this day, we're still friends. And at that point in time, I had to make a tough decision. And 33 out of 42 of my clients left and went to the Lifetime because it was more convenient. It was more of a better opportunity for the family. So I went there and to see what they had to offer. And one of the biggest things that they mentioned was that they are trying to take their education department and grow that. So that was what caught my attention, along with my clients. So I had two things that were saying, okay, Sylvester, this is probably a decision you want to make. Since then, I've been with Lifetime going on, I want to say it's close to 3 years. It'll be 3 years this year. And again, my success, since the day I walked in the door, and the opportunities that Lifetime have offered me have been more than I can ask for. The experience has been great. Their mission, their vision also is different than all the other companies, but they are definitely driving their mission and vision to make sure that the customers' needs are met.
Great. So how many years total have you been in the industry? So we're April 2011 right now.
We're going on 9 this year. So
9
this
years.
year will be 9 years.
That's excellent.